Hi, my name is Blink Tenant and welcome to a little thing I started called Blink Tenant Stories. This is a channel specifically for narrating the story of my OC named Emerald the Jackrabbit. Originally I was going to make a comic about it, then decided to probably write a story, but then decided, you know what, making a video series about him would be better for my mental health because I don't have that much time. So the setting of this would be during Sonic Forces. You know, that trash ass fucking video game, but yet it somehow sparked the creation of Whisper, so I give it a pass. But for now, the setting will be Sonic Forces before the IDW comics. So with that out of the way, let's get this started. Chapter 1. Wake up, Emerald. Silence. Deafening emptiness is all that there is, until a voice begins to make its presence known.
You pathetic worm. I told you to abandon them before they get you killed. At least the octopus had sense.
It speaks to Emerald, mockingly, yet seemingly monotone. A faint beeping can be heard in the background whilst it talks.
Now look at you. I had to bring you back from the grave. Are you happy now? 'Cause now they're all gone and you're all alone.
It is then his heartbeat begins to quicken. His body becomes restless, twitching, itching, wanting to fight, wanting to come back. He was stubborn to a fault, yet he couldn't. Not while it was still here.
I won't tolerate death. The next time you die, I take control.
As it spoke, his body began to shake violently, his pulse becoming erratic. His body was falling apart, yet it strives to wake up. He groaned, but he couldn't wake up. Not until it came back.
So you better stay alive.
As if almost on command, he sprang up from wherever he was. His breathing ragged, voice raspy, his eyes dilated to the fullest as he only saw red. And with every fiber of his being, he screamed a declaration, a threat, a promise. I'll fucking kill you! I'll fucking... After what felt like an eternity, his mind began to clear, and so did his eyes. With deep breaths, he began to look around himself, find himself in an unfamiliar location. The walls were white and teal, while the floor was oddly smooth. Looking down at himself, he would find bed sheets, and to his sides, guard railings, a hospital bed. Almost immediately, he can understand where he was. He was in an infirmary. Normally, he would have no issue with being in an infirmary, but given his circumstance, he was skeptical. To his left, he would find the heart rate monitor, with the chip attached to his left index finger, while on his right, he would find an IV drip. Said solution was dripping down to a needle injected into his right wrist.
Where am
He began to cough profusely for about 20 seconds, non-stop. His vocal cords were completely dry and shredded, worse than he's ever had experienced before. He spattered blood over his now tattered glove, to which he realized, as he looked at his arm, the state he was in. And as he looked to his side to a mirror that was on the far left, it was even worse than he thought. His body was pale, too pale. His skin and muscles were so thin that when he touched it with his left hand, you could feel his bones. And his chest wasn't any better. He began to see that the puff of hair that he would have on his chest was completely decayed or removed. His rib cage was showing through his skin. It was unfathomable to see himself in a state like this. What happened to me? Where am I? What's going on? He thought, as he looked at himself as if he was a complete stranger, something completely alien. He began to panic again. That is, until all the memories began to flood back. That wretched day, the plan, the ambush, the torment, the pain, all of it was flooding back to him all at once. And then he realized, with the last of his consciousness that day, that moment, he heard something. Mimic. Mimic was conversing with Eggman for some reason. Why? Why was he talking to the enemy? Why did he... And then it all began to click. Claire, she said that something bad was going to happen, that she didn't have a good feeling about the mission, so she kept whispered back. The alpha waves being emitted to block her signal. It was starting to make sense. Maybe it was an ambush by him, by Mimic. That blasted Mimic, he caused this. When I fight him, how? Almost immediately, when he was about to hit his peak, a phone began to ring. To his right side, the phone that was in the nightstand next to the IV drip, it began to flash and beep. He couldn't move much from where he was, so he tried his best to see what was going on. Fortunately for him, he didn't really have to read much, as the message said, heart rate critical. Emergency aid needed. Transmitting. And as he finished, he paused. He knew he messed up. Ah, shit. What's going to happen now? He felt like he was caught. He felt like he was in trouble. And thus he desperately tried to find a way to escape, but his body wouldn't move. Too exhausted, too weak, too stressed. He couldn't move an inch. He could barely even flex his hand, let alone move himself. As until the door suddenly swung open, revealing 3 figures beyond it. Holy smokes, he's alive! How? How is he? It's a miracle! The second and third figure all noticed how tense Emerald was. Thus, they decide to try and quell him. It's okay. We don't want to hurt you. Take it easy. From the looks of things, you can hardly even stand up yourself. Oh, the Resistance, he thinks. Maybe they could help me out. The Resistance had a different ideology than the Diamond Cutters. Whilst the Resistance were taking care of the survivors and trying to fight back against Eggman, the Diamond Cutters were very, very anti-Eggman, and they did the most dangerous jobs whilst the Resistance was trying to build a resistance. While the two groups had different ideas, they both had the same goal, stopping Eggman. So, Eggman allowed them to get close and let his guard down as they approached. Your vitals are normal, but they're strangely very faint. Are you sure you're alright? Emerald nods, as much as a slight little nudge downwards can do. Sorry, mister, my name is Tails, and over there is Amy and Knuckles. We are part of the Resistance. This is the infirmary. We saw you in the middle of the field just laying there, unconscious. You were barely breathing, so we took you here as fast as we could. We're so glad you're okay. From afar, Emma could barely make out some of the details that Amy and Knuckles were talking about. I'm still kind of concerned. He looks like he's already 1 foot in the grave. What happened to him? I'm concerned too. But he doesn't look like he needs any healing or bandages. I think he just needs some food. Poor guy looks like a skeleton. I still haven't heard from the recon team over at the base he came from. Hopefully we'll get some answers by then. We'll get our answers soon. For now, we have to focus on the others. We'll just help him get some food in his stomach, and then we'll go. During their conversation, Tails suddenly steals his attention. Hey, can you talk? Emma replies with a raspy but intelligible, yes. Oh, okay. Don't try to talk anymore. Save your strength. Or rather, voice in this case. Moments later, doctors and nurses rush to his side and administer a feeding tube within his nose to pass on some nutrients, vitamins, and minerals so he can at least satiate his stomach that has been empty for quite some time. The doctors say that his body went through some sort of a hibernatic comatose state, somewhere in between the two, that allowed him to stay asleep for a while and not need food. Over the course of a few days, Emma's body would slowly begin to regain its old strength. His body would soon have color again, and his muscles and fibers begin to restore itself along his arms and legs. And Tails would come routinely to check up on him, check his diagnosis to see if anything's improving. Thankfully, everything was going smoothly and steadily with his recovery. However, during the hours of monotonous monitoring and isolation, he began to reflect as to what to do after he's recovered. And it doesn't help that the thing hasn't left him and is still picking at his mind.
It always confuses me. What do you fight for? What purpose do you have? What goal is there to achieve? No one is here. No one out there is alive anymore. Your team is gone. Your purpose is gone. Why do you fight?
My goal is to stop Eggman once and for all. Something that you will never understand. My goal will live on for them. And as time flew by, as hours flew by, he began to reflect again as to what to do now. What do I do now? After everything, I'm slowly recovering, but what do I do afterwards? None of my team is alive, but Whisper. That's right, Whisper. She was in the back line like Claire said she needed to be, just in case things went wrong. And judging from him, they did. So that must mean she knows that Mimic did this. That he's around somewhere. That she's around somewhere. If he could find her, maybe they could team up again. Maybe they can...
What if she isn't? What if she died by his hands? You really have no way of knowing, don't you? Don't you see? You don't have your mask. You don't have your weapon. You have nothing. And you don't even know if the others will help you. After all, you guys never took a liking to the resistance, didn't you? Or are you just using them for your own ends? Just like him.
Shut your dang mouth. Don't ever compare me to him. You know what's good for you.
What are you gonna do, little bunny? Are you going to scream at me to the ends of the earth? Or are you gonna scream out loud to the room? It really doesn't matter. Nothing matters. All that matters to me is that you give in.
He clenched his fist hard enough to leave a bruise, and his body shuddered with rage. He always hated it. Always hated how it poked at his insecurities, prodded at his doubts, never letting him rest until he gives in to it. He has never faltered then, and he hasn't faltered now. And now, with this new revelation of Whisper's possible survival, he had only one goal. Find her. Find Whisper.